The Joker, infamous as a clown prince of crime, and Batman, revered as the Dark Knight of Gotham, share an iconic rivalry spanning decades in comic book history. The Joker, recognized as DC's most sadistic villain, is notorious for his heinous crimes against humanity. This prompts the inevitable question: why hasn't Batman killed the Joker? The prevailing response is often a simple refrain. Numerous YouTube videos attempt to justify and emphasize why Batman refrains from killing. However, none have succeeded in convincing me of the righteousness of the no-kill rule. Thus, I delved back into Batman comics, rewatched all the movies, cartoon shows, and animated films to scrutinize Batman and his principles. Through this exploration, I uncovered something intriguing, an important aspect consistently overlooked by advocates of the no-kill rule. Today, I'm here to present to you the other side of the argument, to shed light on the problem with Batman's no-kill rule, and argue why killing the Joker is morally justifiable. So without any further delay, let's get right into it. To start things off, I think it is crucial to let Batman himself articulate why he adamantly refuses to kill the Joker, or anyone else for that matter. So, let's hear him explain.
No. It'd be too damned easy. All I've ever wanted to do is kill him. A day doesn't go by when I don't think about subjecting him to every horrendous torture he's dealt out to others, and then end him. But if I do that, if I allow myself to go down into that place, I'll never come back.
Will you do it? Kill me? Release the burden that torments both of us?
No. Oh, I want to. I've never wanted anything so much. But I won't. Because if I did, I'd be violating the belief that has sustained me all these years. I believe in the absolute sacredness of human life. I may not really believe in anything else.
To summarize, Batman takes a deontological stance on the matter. Deontology is an ethical theory that emphasizes the importance of following moral rules or duties in determining the rightness or wrongness of actions. According to deontology, actions are inherently good or bad based on whether they adhere to certain moral principles, regardless of their consequences. To put it plainly, Batman thinks killing is objectively wrong, no matter the context, and to him, this makes him righteous. But is he? What the deontological proponents fail to understand, in my opinion, is that ethical responses are contextually contingent. For example, consider the moral dilemma of lying. In some contexts, such as lying to protect someone from harm, deception may be deemed morally justifiable. However, in other contexts, such as lying for personal gain or to manipulate others, deception may be considered morally wrong. Therefore, whether lying is deemed ethical or unethical depends on the specific circumstances and the ethical principles at play in each situation. Killing by all moral standards is a wrong thing. But does killing with a specific aim to prevent tragedy in fact a moral wrong? Deontology's major flaw lies in its inability to accommodate nuance within moral discussions. This ideology rigidly categorizes morality into stark binaries of right and wrong, disregarding the intricate complexities inherent in real-life ethical dilemmas. However, if we allow room for nuance, it becomes evident why taking extreme measures such as killing the Joker or similarly dangerous criminals like Victor Zsasz can be morally justified. Now let's examine the common arguments put forth by Batman or his supporters to justify his no-killing policy. One such argument posits that killing the Joker would equate to descending to his level of moral depravity, thereby becoming equally reprehensible. To address this point, I'll simply present you with a couple of hypotheticals. Suppose you are a police officer patrolling the neighborhood, and as you approach an elementary school, you hear gunshots, and then a school shooter walks outside and starts firing at random people. You have a clear shot. Does taking this shot and killing him make you worse than him? I'll give you another scenario. You are a park ranger patrolling a popular public park on a weekend afternoon. Suddenly, you hear screams and see a person wielding a weapon, and is on the verge of killing other visitors. You have a clear shot at the assailant and could potentially neutralize the threat. Does acting to maintain safety in the park make you as bad as the killer? I'll provide you an answer to this question. No, it doesn't. In the scenarios described earlier, taking immediate action with the sole purpose of safeguarding the lives of innocent people unequivocally defines you as a hero, period. The intent behind the action is crucial. However, if Batman were to kill the Joker or another individual out of revenge or simply for personal gratification, such actions would lack moral justifications. Context is paramount. Another argument made by Batman is that he fears he won't be able to recover from the darkness after crossing that moral line. Once again, the intent and context hold significance. We're not advocating for the indiscriminate killing of all criminals he encounters. Rather, we're suggesting that eliminating the most extreme ones like the Joker is morally defensible. Moreover, it seems paradoxical for Batman, who has repeatedly demonstrated remarkable mental resilience and willpower, to claim he cannot overcome the despair of violating his no-kill rule. From making a solemn vow at the tender age of 10 to combat crime following the tragic loss of his parents, to mastering intense feats through Torgal meditation, Batman has consistently exhibited the mindset to surmount any obstacle he encounters. Thus, the notion that he will not be able to transcend the aftermath of breaking his no-kill rule appears unfounded. If he possesses the determination to uphold his vow never to kill, then surely he retains the capacity to overcome the turmoil should he deviate from it. The final point I want to address is Batman's belief in the sanctity and value of human life. This is 100% true. We can all agree on this point, and it's essential to recognize that the value of human life cannot be underestimated. The difference here, however, is the Joker's life has no value. The Joker's existence epitomizes the epitome of evil, characterized by sadism, cruelty, and an utter disregard for human life. His heinous acts of violence and mayhem have left a trail of devastation and suffering in his wake, claiming countless innocent lives without remorse or hesitation. In the face of such unrestrained malevolence, it becomes increasingly difficult to attribute any value to the life of a man so consumed by darkness. Joker's actions are not merely criminal, they are monstrous and unforgivable. He takes pleasure in inflicting pain and chaos, reveling in the suffering of others without a shred of empathy or humanity. The lives he has snuffed out, the families he has shattered, and the communities he has plunged into despair serve as a testament to the utter depravity of his existence. In the eyes of society, the Joker represents the antithesis of everything good and decent. He is a threat to the very fabric of civilization, a force of chaos that must be stopped at all costs. To argue for the preservation of his life is to ignore the countless victims he has left in his wake, and to prioritize the rights of a remorseless killer over the safety and well-being of innocent people. In light of his unspeakable atrocities, it becomes abundantly clear that the life of a sadistic, cold-blooded killer like the Joker holds no value. His continued existence serves no purpose other than to perpetuate suffering and soul discord. By extinguishing his life, we not only deliver justice for his countless victims, but also prevent future harm and ensure that no more innocent lives are lost to his insatiable thirst for destruction. You're enjoying it, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
The video, Batman. The video.
What?
If you're enjoying this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share to support my work and encourage me to create more content like this. Thanks, guys. I've illustrated why the motivations for the no-kill rule can be easily deconstructed when confronted with more nuanced philosophical and moral arguments, as well as common sense. However, my primary concern with Batman's no-kill rule lies in its distortion over time. While initially grounded in a genuine desire to offer redemption or perhaps as a coping mechanism for the trauma of losing his parents, it has morphed into a self-aggrandizing emblem for both writers and Batman himself. Let me explain. Consider another iconic rivalry, Light and L, from the Death Note series. Their claim to righteousness underscores that their conflict transcended a simple dichotomy of good versus evil. It was a battle of pride. Both were willing to resort to morally dubious tactics, gambling with human lives in the process in pursuit of victory. This parallels Batman's dynamic with the Joker. While the Joker embodies pure chaos, he also aims to prove a point that one bad day can lead anyone down his path. Conversely, Batman staunchly adheres to his no-kill rule, viewing killing as unacceptable and refusing to stoop to the Joker's level. This clash of ideals makes for compelling storytelling, but it ultimately boils down to a battle of pride, a chess match aimed at breaking the other's resolve. However, individuals driven by such inflated egos seldom yield, regardless of the consequences. Batman's unwavering commitment to his ideal, fueled by pride, has dire consequences. Innocent lives are lost as collateral damage. By allowing a known threat like the Joker to roam freely, Batman indirectly endangers innocent lives. A true hero prioritizes the greater good and makes tough decisions for the safety of those they've sworn to protect. However, Batman's no-kill rule becomes a manifestation of his ego, upheld at any cost, even if it means indirectly causing loss of life to maintain it. Ironically, his no-kill rule has killed thousands.
Noble. No, I won't claim that, because there's a final reason, and it's not the least bit noble. I refuse to give you the satisfaction of seeing me fail. That makes you absolutely miserable, doesn't it?
So the real question here is, why does Batman engage in a battle of pride with a psychopathic serial killer, someone who embodies chaos and insanity? What exactly does winning this battle of pride achieve? From my perspective, it simply reveals Batman's shallowness. He plays a dangerous game with the Joker, disregarding the lives at stake. A true hero would prioritize saving innocent lives over their own pride. Yet Batman clings to his ego, fearing that yielding would grant the Joker the satisfaction of seeing him fail. But what's the value of winning this game when lives hang in the balance? This behavior hardly paints Batman in a positive or heroic light.
But wait! There's more!
This pride has morphed into a weapon, allowing Batman to view himself as morally superior to others. But when his moral code, or his pride, or his no-kill rule is challenged or questioned, Batman refuses to engage like an adult. He deflects, resorts to violence, or lectures others on the sanctity of his ideals. He fails to acknowledge his own hypocrisy, emotionally and sometimes violently reacting when his ideals are questioned. Batman's unwavering moral code is a cornerstone of his character, but it can also be a source of tension with his allies. We see this rigidity play out in various storylines. For example, in Injustice, Huntress confronts Batman for calling Superman irredeemable after saving Earth by killing alien invaders. Here, Batman could engage in a mature discussion about the ethics of killing, even in dire circumstances. Instead, he dismisses the heroic act of Superman saving the world from alien conquerors, as well as saving Green Arrow and his comrades, and ultimately, he deflects. Characters like Wonder Woman after killing Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman number 219, or Batwoman after killing Clayface in Detective Comics number 974, argue that their actions, though lethal, saved innocent lives because in actuality there was no other way. In response, Batman erupted into a fit of rage directed at Batwoman, oblivious to the imminent loss of hundreds of lives due to the failure of the drugs to neutralize the kaiju Clayface threat. Similarly, in the Wonder Woman scenario, he displayed disgust towards her and demanded her departure, despite the dire necessity of her actions to liberate Superman from Maxwell Lord's mind control. In Injustice 2, when Damian kills Victor Zsasz, a serial murderer with no remorse, Batman's anger focuses on the act of killing, not the victim's crimes. He resorts to violence and beats his own son up because of this. In Red Hood and the Outlaws number 24, Jason effectively dismantles the Penguin's empire in Gotham, achieving a significant victory in the ongoing battle against crime, a feat Batman had not accomplished. However, instead of acknowledging Jason's success, Batman responds by violently assaulting him and banishing him from Gotham. Still, in Detective Comics number 974, he holds a roundtable tribunal for Batwoman. Jason Todd cleverly points out that Batman's outrage at Batwoman's actions stem from personal affront, or in other words, her challenging his ego, which is why the roundtable was being held in the first place. And how could I forget in Batman Death in the Family, when Jason challenges Batman's no-kill rule and presents him with a choice: either kill the psychopathic serial killer responsible for the deaths of hundreds of innocent people, including Jason himself, or forcibly prevent Jason from killing the Joker. Batman opts to save the psychopathic serial killer. Simultaneously, he shoots a batarang at Jason, injuring his shoulder. These instances illustrate how Batman's commitment to his pride and ideals not only create friction and raise questions about the practicality and consequences of his unwavering moral code, but also weaken his moral stance. As Damian put it in Injustice, he'd rather fight his friends than address the real problem, which is his pride. What is even more troubling is the Joker's awareness of this dynamic, exploiting it as his guaranteed shield, rendering him untouchable and granting him free rein to act with impunity. In the Injustice storyline, Superman confronts Batman about his perceived attachment to the Joker. In typical Batman fashion, he tries to deflect and deny it. Superman then questions why Batman allowed Joker to harm people and him by orchestrating the deaths of Lois and his unborn baby. This exchange raises the possibility that Batman's vendetta against Superman wasn't solely about preventing tyranny, but also driven by a desire for retribution over the loss of the Joker. In Action Comics number 897, Lex Luthor engages in a chilling dialogue with the Joker. Recounting a heinous act without remorse, the Joker confesses to boiling a baby before the father's eyes and compelling him to drink the soup. Lex, understandably appalled, reacts by strangling the Joker, asserting that his demise will be met with relief rather than grief. However, the Joker confidently asserts that Batman will seek retribution against Lex Luthor. This is problematic on so many levels. The Joker's confidence that Batman will seek retribution against someone who kills him rather than himself indicates that he sees the no-kill rule as a weakness to exploit. This perpetuates a cycle of violence and enables the Joker to evade the consequences of his actions. All of this would imply that Batman derives satisfaction from the ongoing cat-and-mouse game with the Joker, even though it directly results in the deaths of innocent people. There is no justification for his actions. The evidence from the comic book speaks volumes. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt and examine his ideology further. Batman fundamentally believes in the potential for everyone to change or be rehabilitated. His stance on this matter suggests he actively supports the restorative justice theory. Advocates of restorative justice argue for rehabilitation and repairing the harm caused by the crime. However, a significant issue arises, particularly when dealing with highly dangerous villains like the Joker. In cases where rehabilitation seems unlikely or impossible, this theory falls short. We've witnessed this dynamic unfold in Batman-Joker narratives repeatedly. Despite evidence indicating the Joker's inability to change or be rehabilitated, Batman persists in this approach. A more logical course of action would be to consider more drastic measures, such as executing the threat to eliminate it. Upholding an ideal that repeatedly leads to the loss of innocent lives is neither heroic nor admirable. It borders on criminal and villainous behavior. It makes him stupid and irresponsible. Batman's refusal to eliminate the Joker, driven by pride rather than the preservation of innocent lives, demonstrates his skewed priorities. His allegiance to his pride perpetuates a cycle of conflict, revealing that he values his ego over his duty to protect the people. Letting the Joker live results in further loss of lives and undermines the principles of justice and morality Batman seeks to hold. He can still adhere to his fundamental principles of non-lethality. However, in exceptional situations like the one involving the Joker, he should indeed consider eliminating him to prevent innocent casualties due to his incompetence. Killing the Joker wouldn't grant him victory or satisfaction. It's merely the morally correct course of action. I could delve into numerous philosophical arguments supporting why killing the Joker aligns with moral principles such as retributive justice, utilitarianism, natural law, social contract theorem, and principles of double effect. However, I aim to keep this video concise. Links in the description will direct you to further elaborations on these theories. Nonetheless, my core argument stands. While many Batman fans may disagree with the points raised in this video, I welcome your thoughts in the comment section. Nevertheless, I maintain my stance that these arguments hold validity, and there is no compelling argument to support the notion that Batman's no-kill rule is a virtuous principle. On the contrary, the evidence suggests that it lacks credibility and fails to withstand scrutiny. But that's just my opinion anyways.